Period, 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 period. Hey Gama gang, welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another video and today we have a sit down video. I haven't done a sit down video in like over a year and a half, I'm sure. Maybe even 2, but it's been ages since I sat down and spoke to you guys or did like a makeup tutorial. So I thought it's time, let's park the vlogs for a little bit. I know you love them. I love them too. But sometimes when life is not giving vlog and not in my vlogging era, then I just go quiet. So I think when I'm not in my vlogging era, let me rather just do sit down videos so that I'm still posting and engaging with you guys. You know what I'm saying? So today's video is going to be my new go-to makeup look. I've been seeing a lot of questions on my TikToks and posts and stories of people asking me to do my updated makeup like look routine or base routine, and I kept saying I'm going to do it. So today is the day because I'm fairly happy with my current makeup routine. I was like, let me do it for the girls. Let me do it for the girls. Obviously, my usual routine does not include like eyeshadow and all that stuff and like a dark lip. It's usually very simple hair and then just a simple lip as my like go-to makeup look. But if I want to take it up a notch, this is how it will turn out. But of course, you guys will see how all of that plays out in the tutorial. So if you guys are interested and you like how my makeup looks, how it usually looks, or you're just interested in learning new tips in terms of makeup, because deal di chenchi, it's a pilot like a deal there. So if you are interested, please continue watching. But of course, do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and join the Gama gang. It is a vibe over here, and click the notification bell so you can get notified every time I post. Before I start yapping like I usually do, you guys know me, let's get into the tutorial. First things first, let's get into this makeup tutorial. I'm so excited. I haven't done one of these in 2 years. In crazy business. I've been vlogging my life away, which is great, but it limits on the consistency because my life is not vloggable all the time, in all honesty, and this is one of those times. So since in makeup, I've been seeing a lot of questions about my updated makeup routine. You guys seem to be loving it, and shout out. I feel like I've finally got to the point where I'm happy with my current makeup routine. Do not clog the lace. You guys know my biggest weakness in life, or thing I don't know how to do in life, especially wigs. Wigs are not my thing, and I've accepted that they're not. But guess slowly but surely one day I will eat. Okay, so I've done my brows off camera. I wanted to do them on camera, but the reason I did them off camera is because my brows are not done right now. So that's not the true routine of how I do my brows. And they don't look bad, you know, but this is not my current makeup brow routine, but I can show you what I used. I used the Maybelline tattoo liner in the shade Bold Brown, and then I just carved them out with the concealers that I'll be using in today's video. Okay, first things first, of course, you guys need to do skincare. So once you've done your skincare, you're gonna get into your primer. So the primer I've been using, which I think a lot of people have been using, and it is with the Hype. At first, I was like, oh, it's probably not gonna work for me because a lot of the primers that people use don't work for me. So I'm very surprised and I'm obsessed. So I'll be going in with the Maybelline Fit Me Luminous and Smooth primer. The girls that use it know. The girls that know, no. 10 out of 10, no notes. So I'll just put like a line on each side. And then sometimes I will mix it with my Wet n Wild Hydrate Rose Water primer. And also it has like these glittery particles. It just adds like a certain glow to it. I would not say it does much for the actual priming. It's more for the glow. I don't put a lot though because I don't want a watery based primer to be my main girl. Do you guys see that? Y'all see that, right? And you see the glow as well. Stunning. Then onto foundation. This is my favorite foundation on planet Earth. 10 out of 10, no notes. I've been using it for over a year. I'm obsessed with it. It is up there price-wise, but it is an investment and it is so worth it. I'm going to be using the Lancôme Teint Idole Ultra Wave Foundation. You guys, sensational. The shade match is sensational. The formula is sensational. It blends so well with the rest of my products. It is not too cakey. It's also transfer free, so when you hug niggas at the party, you're not leaving makeup on people's boyfriends' t-shirts. Please, don't get the man in trouble when he gets home. I am the shade 405W. Before I go in with my foundation, I spray my face with some setting spray. I've been loving an OG that I always forget about, but I've always loved her. This is the Revlon Colorstay Lock Setting Spray. It's not a mattifying one, it's more hydrating, but it also does set your makeup. It also leaves that bouncy texture. I love that. I want my skin to feel bouncy. I just feel like it carries the makeup better, if that makes sense. Guys, I'm gonna makeup artist. I'm going to Tim's. I write what you're supposed to say, what you don't say. You guys will just watch this video and use a makeup cleaning. Then I'll just pump this onto the back of my hand. I usually do like 3 or 4 pumps. Then I'll take my foundation brush. This foundation brush I got in a PR package, so can't tell you where it's from. I also do like to spray my brush first. It has such a skin-like, shiny finish. Another thing about this foundation is that it doesn't oxidize. The shade that's on your face is the shade you're gonna get all day. This video is gonna be very much a tutorial. If you came here for the vibes, also, side note, when you are spreading your foundation onto your face, do not put it directly underneath your eye where you're going to be putting concealer and where you have creases, because it will increase the creasing. So you know when you have lines, it will increase that. If you had put foundation underneath, the less product build up here, the better. I sound so professional. Woo! Let's put some on the forehead. Guys, I used to be one of those girlies. My forehead is significantly smaller today. Shout out to this wig. I used to be those girlies that don't put foundation on my forehead, their forehead. Because one, I was just like, it feels weird. I don't know why. It kind of just feels like weird on the skin. It's a weird sensation for me. And then I also just like, it's not necessary. You look crazy. Trust me, when you go out into the people and now you have that natural light and someone's talking to you and now you just have a line here with no foundation, you look insane. Just take it from me. Even if you just put powder, but don't put nothing, because your skin doesn't look like this, your natural skin. Johnny, say what your price, just to back it up. You got my eyes. That song is all over my For You page. That we back like Then we are going to go in with concealer, my favorite part. Is it my favorite part? For concealer, I do this step twice. But for the first step, I'll be using the Too Faced Born This Way concealer coated. I know it's not available in Saudi, but if you travel or a friend travels or online somewhere, I don't know, best believe this concealer is the best thing to happen to me. It also lasts because the jar is so big. It obviously is going to be pricey, but because the jar is so big, it's so worth it. I've been using this foundation for over a year because my mom bought it for me in the US in May last year. And it is now, what are we in, August, September kind of. There's a lot of products in here still. If it expires, sorry to it, man. Yeah, it expires in 12 months. I'll be using the shade Warm Beige. So I start off with this concealer and then later I will use a brightening concealer. So this one is like a shade or two lighter than me, but it's not necessarily bright. It probably looks bright on camera, But trust me, it's not. It's more, this is more neutral, yes. And I'm not one of those girlies that are going to put 2 dots of concealer on my face. Yes, I don't have flaws underneath because I'm beautiful even without makeup. Like it, but it beats. It face beats. Then we spray the Revlon setting spray again. Then we're going to dry the face using my fan. Reason being, I like my concealer to be super tacky, almost dry. So the longer I fan it, the better it blends, in my opinion. So tip, do not be running lace if you need to beat that face, because there's no time to sit and let the concealer dry. Take your time with makeup. That's another key tip. Take your time with makeup. Then I'm going to go in with my beauty sponge. This one I got from Lancôme. It is sensational, but another good one is the Real Techniques Beauty Blender, that orange one. Make sure that it's damp. Look at that. I don't even have to do much, because a lot of the product has already dried down into the skin. So it's kind of like I'm just spreading it out and blending it on the edges. Oh, Mariri, get out my way. Move out the way. And guys, honestly, I would have loved for this to be a drugstore friendly, affordable makeup tutorial. I can still do that, definitely, but this was just me showing you guys my current makeup routine that you guys have been loving. So then I'm going to cream contour / bronze. I would like to say my contour is more on the bronzy side of things. It's not like a contour, it's more warm up the face but still look like I have dimension. I'm going to be using my, it looks a little bit bust up because I've been using it again for over a year, maybe even more. Definitely expired, but hey man, Savant. I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible More Than concealer. I'm using the shade Cocoa. Random, but like makeup is just so different now. Like it's not what it used to be. Like I miss the era of tutorials. I miss the era of makeup reviews. I miss the 2016 makeup era. Now everyone's just doing soft glam. And I guess because of short form content like TikTok, people don't necessarily do YouTube videos anymore. I got this tip from Uche, by the way. She puts it here. I don't know if it does anything, but I do it anyway because her makeup is, I don't know if you guys can hear me, but I just feel like the makeup beauty world's just not the same anymore in terms of YouTube and stuff. TikTok has the girlies, and like that's great, but I miss it on YouTube. And watch, so many people have been asking me for this video, but it's gonna get like max 15k views maybe. And even so, I'm hoping for that. But you guys, people ask for these things, but they don't get views. People care about vlogs. I'm telling you, one, two. Let's clock that. Someone commented on my cooking video, my recent cooking video, and they were like, where's her boyfriend? Her content is so boring now. It's giving student vibes. First of all, just to show that I want to just once in Davazak and to be in your business. I've been on YouTube for 7 years and I literally only had content involving my partner for maybe 3 months, and even so, it's not like he was in the video. And then you're gonna say, where's her boyfriend? Her content's boring now. Out of 7 years of content, what made it fun for you was probably 3 months of it. Please, like, let's be so for real. First of all, that shows it's not an OG comic hack member or someone who actually enjoys my personality or like my content. That person just cares about what I got going on in my life. And for that, we are lunga. Shosho. For that, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it. Whoa, 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 whoa. And not as much as I'm gonna comment on this. Let's see your comments. Let's see them. Here's the thing. People are gonna have a lot to say in the comments and say, these are the careers that we chose, this is the life that we chose. That's fair, but we can still control what we put out there and what we don't, you know? And it's just what it is. If I decide to wake up tomorrow and do fitness content only, I can. Almost like Alyssa Ashley, she switched up to basically fitness. She still does a little bit of beauty. People were mad about it, but she can. And now look, she's doing well and everybody's okay. Everyone's fine. Anyway, moving on. Then I'm gonna go in with some cream blush. I'm using my Rare Beauty blush. This is in the shade Joy. This is another one that's quite up there price-wise, but love the pigments, love the formula. It is coated for a reason. But if I'm not mistaken, you can order it online. Last I checked, lasts forever. This will probably last me literally forever because it's a full bottle and you only use a few dots because it's very pigmented. So another one that's worth the investment. But another one that I do really love, it just depends on what look I'm going for. So if I'm going for a pinky type blush, I use this cream blush. If I'm looking for a more orange warm blush, I use the Quick Face cream blush. I don't know what shade this is in, but I know it's like a burnt orange or something like that. However, I do see that they are not going to be selling at Mr. Price anymore. I think they are selling the last few products out. So if you can still grab it, go grab it. It is beautiful. I like to place it on the higher points of my cheeks. I've learned that with cream products, it doesn't matter the product, let it dry down a little bit and it's gonna look good. Then I just take the back part of my sponge and I blend that out. And I like to bring it into the corner of my brow and eye. Those girlies that are doing one dot, and like I can't even say maybe ngithenga dupe and ngithenga ngempela, but I literally bought it at Sephora. So I went to Sephora when I was in Brazil, so it's definitely the real thing, but it's not insane. It's just a beautiful blend. I think I'm going to put in a little bit of the Quick Face one and mix those together. Y'all see that? I don't know what they put in this shit, but you literally don't need much and it will show up. The pigment on this is crazy. Lungile Ayanda, please, when you guys go to the lab to do your own thing, make sure you keep this. Look at that. Oh, absolutely stunning. Spagliato, oh, stunning. And then this is where we brighten and also clean up any blush that has shifted too close to my under eye area. I'm going to be going in with my Too Faced Born This Way concealer. The label's even washed off. This is in the shade Golden Beige. This is the one I use to brighten my under eye. It's a much lighter shade and more golden and brightening. And again, we're gonna let that dry down and get tacky. See what I mean when I say you need time? You need to take your time with this thing. I mean it. Guys, lucky day. When it comes to us, I need you to think different. Think different. Don't know what you're missing. If you've started listening to Lucky Day's new album, please comment down below and let me know what you think. Honest opinion, it is not his best one. It's like he went for the rock music direction, even though half his interviews about the upcoming album were like, oh, if you're a real R&B person, you're really gonna get this album. Whoop, 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 whoop. And I was like, I can believe that because the single that he dropped, as you guys know I'm obsessed with, from one of my vlogs, his song That's You, that song is out of this world. There's cocaine in it, there's drugs. I don't promote drugs, please. That song, I was like, when he drops, that shit is gonna be insane. Only for him to drop a rock album, I was like, what is this? Like, I will say though, I think out of the whole album, I like maybe 7 of the songs. I'll screenshot the ones that I've saved. Those ones I'm warming up to and I like them. They still have a rock feel, but it's like a funk. He is a funk guy anyway. So all in all, the album's clearly not bad now that it's warmed up to me, but it's not a non-skip album. I'm skipping some of those things. Anyway, the people that love music get it. If you don't get it, I probably sound so obsessed with music. But I am. I'm obsessed with music, evidently. Okay, now we're going to set our makeup, my other favorite parts. So I first start with my trusted babe, the real ones and OGs know. This girly, love her so much. This is the Revlon Blot Matte Setting Powder. It is in the shade 001. I like it because it literally seeps. Oops. I'm running out here. I love it because it literally seeps into my skin and doesn't make me look like Ikea. So I'm gonna take my powder puff. I recently became a powder puff girly. I got this from Shein. I used to use my beauty blender, but I started using powder puff and I was like, why didn't I start this earlier? So I first go in with my clean powder puff and I set the creases. Then I go in with my powder puff. Blow until there's no more excess and it's like this, right? Then set your powder. I find layering and taking your time with setting works so much better than just going in with a bunch of powder. And then for smile lines, I like to really go in this area. And that's it. I then go in with my Laura Mercier setting powder in the shade Translucent Honey. Also a very pricey girly, you do not have to use this one, you really don't. But I bought this when I was in Brazil and when I tried it, I liked it, but I don't love it. It doesn't do what this one does. So I then decided, oh, I can use it to brighten my under eye because it is in a honey shade, whereas this one's more a neutral shade. So I use this to brighten those areas on top of the Revlon setting powder. You don't have to use this one. I'm just making use of this because this wasn't cheap, okay? And I know the girls stan the setting powder and like, that's so fair guys, but it doesn't work for me, unfortunately. I feel like it makes me look really powdery and cakey and I don't like it. So same thing, dab, no excess, and then we go in. So with this one, I like to use very little because it's quite a heavy powder, but you guys see how it's brightened my underarm. I hope you can see that, but in the mirror over here we can see it. Then time to powder contour and bronze. It's a little bit dirty, but I'm going to go in with my Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Powder Foundation. This is in the shade Coconut. There's nothing exquisite about it that I can comment on. I just really enjoy the warmth of the shade Coconut. Honestly, I wanted a different powder. I tried this one and it really did what I needed it to do. Then I'm going to go in with this angled brush that I got from Shein. It's got like this dip in the brush. I don't know if you guys can see, that I really like, that hugs the cheek. Then we're going to go in, tap away the excess, and then look at that. I know you guys see that. I know you guys see that. I know you do. And then I kind of just bring it up on the cheek and then bring it up to the top. This is also where I kind of blend my wig into my makeup on this step. You guys see the warmth of that shade. Take my beauty blender and I kind of just clean that up in case my brush went to places that it was not invited to. Then I'm gonna go in with my nose contour and then I bring it up to the brow. That is very important. It elongates the nose so it doesn't cut off somewhere, and it also just makes it look more seamless, and then it creates this shadow in this area that makes it look thinner. I sound so professional. I've been doing makeup for so many years, something's gotta give, you know what I mean? Then bring up to the, I remember I learned this from Jackie Anna years ago. And there we are. Then next, I'm going to go in with a pressed Whoops. Then I'm going to go in with a pressed powder. This one looks a hot mess. It's been through it, but I'm not going to waste it just because it looks insane. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless setting powder in Golden Caramel. OG, love her. Then I'm going to blend out the lines on my eyelid. Take my powder puff, go into the pressed powder and set my whole eye. This also creates a great base if you're gonna do eyeshadow, but even if you don't, you just look clean and neat and seamless, if that's what I'm looking for. Perfect. And while we're there, I'm then gonna go in with this brush, also from Shein, and set the rest of my face. I don't use much, but just enough so that, you know, all the liquids on my face have powder on them. And then I'm sure you guys have been wondering when I'm going to do this because I look cakey as hell. Then we're going to finally set our face and set all those powders into place. So I tend to go in with quite a bit at this point. You need to look wet. Just want to tell you why. Okay, now we have set the face. Next, I'm going to do blush. This is the part where, you know, everyone's just gonna have to use what they got. I have been using an old palette as a blush because I really like this blush shade, and the one that I want is from NARS, and I don't feel like paying for that amount just yet because this is working. So I'm using this Dupe Factory palette. Those who know, I don't even think Dupe Factory exists anymore, and this is definitely expired. Definitely. So I tend to go in with this very muted, nudish shade as a blush, and it looks beautiful. I absolutely love it. NARS has this exact shade and even more pigmented because obviously this is eyeshadow. Absolutely beautiful. One day I will fold and buy it. But if I'm doing the more burnt orange look, you guys already know, I go in with my Yardley blush. This is in the shade Turra Cotta. Scratch out now, but stunning shade. So beautiful, but I don't know if that's what I'm going for today. Going in with this brush, it's also from Shein. I will link this whole set, and I'm just going to dab into that shade. And obviously I have to build it up because it is an eyeshadow, an old one at that. So with this one, I don't tap off the excess because I need all the pigment I can get. Go back in with my beauty blender to blend that out so that everything blends together and makes sense. Hope you guys can see it. Okay, now time for the eyes. My least favorite part. Do not care to do my eyes. Today I will be doing a little bit of eyeshadow. This is the look that I've been doing to kind of elevate my eyes a little bit, so it's not necessarily eyeshadow because I'm not that girl anymore, but it does add a little something. So firstly, we go back in with our bronzer contour shade to deepen the crease. I'm going to use the same brush I used to contour my nose, and I'm just going to put that in the crease. I'm also going to go in my under eye. And today I'm going to be using my Huda Beauty matte palette. This is in the shade or shades Warm Matte Obsessions. If you guys watch my vlog, Vanessa bought this for me now that I'm kind of back in my palette era, and I've been loving it. Updates. This is what it looks like inside. Stunning. As a girl who likes warm tones, this is perfect for me. So first and foremost, I go in with, let me find it. I go in with this flat brush. This is an old brush, don't know where it's from, but as long as it's flat. And then I go in with the shade in the middle. It's like a cool peachy shade. Just with the excess. And I focus that on the beginning of my lid. not gonna show up too much, but trust me, it does something. It's like a nice pink matte shade and it brightens the eye. It's beautiful, 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 beautiful. Again, guys, you don't have to use the same palette, but just the same kind of vibe. I know y'all see that. I know y'all see that. Then I'm going to take the brush I used earlier to just clean that up a little bit. I forgot how long these makeup tutorials can take to film. Then I'm going to go in with this angled brush, very tiny angled brush. And then we're going to dip into this brown shade in this corner. Tap that in on top of the excess. And then we're going to do liner with the brown eyeshadow. I like it so much better than using black liner. So of course you're gonna go with the shape of your eye and then join it into the middle. I don't go all the way. I don't really care for that look. Just stop in the middle. And then when you flare it out at the end, don't make it too much of a harsh line. Like just make it lightly. So it's kind of like washed out. I don't know if that makes any sense. Then I'm just going to dust off any excess powder. Take another brush, but ever so lightly go into that brown shade again. On the tip of the brush, I like to angle it, dust off the excess. And then from that winged liner, kind of blend it into the crease. This is so that I'm avoiding it looking too harsh and too much like a liner, but also creating some depth in the corner of my eye. Why don't you guys tell me my lips are dry? What the hell? My lips are looking so crusty, disgust me. Anyway, I'm gonna go in with the same liner that I used on my brows on my waterline. This is the Maybelline tattoo liner in the shade Bold Brown. I know I already showed you guys, but for tutorial sake, and I'm gonna use that to line my eyes. It's not as harsh as black eyeliner. Then I'm just sharpening it. Then we're going to tight line. So we're gonna take that brown shade again and we're gonna put it in the lower lash line, but instead of like brushing it out, we're gonna tight line, which is like stamping it onto the eye. It creates a beautiful smoky effect. So you're just gonna dab that. You want a very dense flat brush. Let me bring this closer so you can see. Very dense. I don't know where this brush is from. Probably had it for years. Then you just press into that lower lash area, just below where you put that liner. But I'm only gonna stop in the middle. I'm not gonna go all the way because I want that eye look. Does that make sense? So you just tap, 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 bam. Damn, listen on your head, nigga, tap, bam. Tap, 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 bam. Fuck a nigga, get rich, bitch, tap, bam. She ate that. I'ma show you how to bag an 8-figure nigga. Private villa and a fur chinchilla. I'm gonna take this very random, small, fluffy brush and we're gonna go in with this shade at the top and we're going to blend that tight line out. Just so like we don't have any harsh lines. Then the remainder you can carry to the end of your eye. So it's more flushed out in the beginning and not harsh. Then last but not least, we're gonna go back in with the angled brush into the brown shade and we're going to do the inner corner. I prefer this method, but it really needs focus. So just give me a minute. So I'm gonna go in with that flat brush I used earlier to fix. And I'm kind of just going to define. Can't keep a good man down. And then just to emphasize it a little bit, I'm gonna go back in with the Maybelline eyeliner And I'm just gonna go in. Please be light with your hand in this tube. There we go. Whew. That was nerve-wracking. Next, I'll be going in with my Kylash mascara from Kylie Cosmetics. If you guys watched one of my previous vlogs, y'all know this impressed me so much. Also, guys, with mascaras, honestly, a lot of them are good. Like, you can find alternatives that are cheaper, that do the same, if not a better job. But this is just my current fave. I like my lashes to look as sultry as possible, not like very much up my alley. Then for my lower lash line, I use the Maybelline Sky High Sensational Mascara. I think this is everybody's like go-to. Everyone loves it. You really can't go wrong. The reason I use it for my bottom lash line specifically is the wand is tiny, whereas the Kylie wand is really thick. I've tried to use it at the bottom and it just messes up my whole thing. Okay, next step is something that I recently started doing. I'm currently liking how it looks. It might look insane. I might have lash blindness in the next few years, like I had wig blindness for years. Don't laugh at me. I know you guys knew it. You guys were supposed to say something, but it's okay. But I've not been a big fan of the full strip lash anymore, but I do still want more volume near the ends. So what I've started to do is I take lashes and I cut them off at the end and I only glue the lash on the ends. It kind of takes the already natural lash look that I like, because I don't like a heavy lash, and it kind of elevates it, especially with this type of wing look, and it just ties it all together. I don't know, you guys will see. So I can't even really tell you where these lashes are from. I literally cut off the end of the lash. I'll be using my Sphix lash glue. It's just lash glue way too. I know Sphix is available at Woolworths, I think. Put that on. It dries really fast and it has a brush applicator that's really tiny. Gonna let that sit for a little bit. Tip though, if you do decide to do this method, obviously don't go for your expensive lashes. If you're gonna chop off the lash off, go for a more affordable lash. Obviously that's not too long. It has to blend with your natural situation going on. So while it gets tacky, I'm gonna go in with my Fenty Beauty highlighter. I've had this babe for a very long time, so she's burst up. She's a little bit embarrassing. She's pasta 929. This is the all-time favorite, the Kilowatt highlighter. The shades are Afternoon Snack and Mo Honey. My favorite is Afternoon Snack. Obviously, I have hit Pan. This one I use just to elevate a little bit, because notice how I didn't put it in the corner eyeshadow. I do sometimes depending on the look, but with this specific one I don't, but I'll add like a little dab in the area just to brighten it up. You guys will see. I'm going in with Afternoon Snack, the very little that is left, but I don't use much in any case. And I'm going to put that on the tip of my nose and then on the bridge, just there in the middle where the light touches my nose. You'll see that. I will say though, makeup is not one size fits all. I always say this. What you like and what I like are not the same thing. So do you, boo. And then I'll put it on my cupid's bow and then very little on my brow bone. And that's it. I do not put highlighter on my cheeks anymore. And then I'm gonna go in with Mo Honey and I'll literally just dab a little bit in the corner. So a small little touch, and I'll bring it up just below the bone, and that's it. Don't even know if it does much of a difference, but it does something for me. Okay, let's go in with the lash. I hope I didn't let it sit too long. Literally doesn't do a lot, but it does enough. I will say though, I think it works if your lashes are naturally quite long. If you don't have naturally long lashes, obviously this method won't work. So I do want to make that disclaimer. Don't walk around with one lash in the corner of your eye, please. Okay, I need to fiddle with this one a little more, but That is essentially the... Y'all see that? Y'all see what's going on. Y'all see what's cooking. Okay, then I'm going to go in with my favorite setting spray in the world. This setting spray, the quick face setting spray, locks my shit into place. It's literally my favorite step. Well, if I look at my makeup and I feel like, once I spray this, I literally feel like I'm on top of the world. So again, Lungile and Ayanda, step into my office. You guys better not discontinue this. I'm already on my second bottle, and now I'm seeing you guys are not doing the things no more. I'm on my knees. I actually think I need to message them both and say, girls, please, literally put it in my veins. This is their Infinite Hydration Mist. It adds that glow that you need. It just... Give me 14 of them right now. So I go in with this first before my lipstick, and then I spray again after my lipstick. Y'all see that glow right now, right? Y'all see it, right? But you don't want to look sweaty. So in the T-zone, I like to just set it in, just so I don't look oily or like I'm sweating, but I still have a glow. Hey, I hope this microphone is recording. That's why I'm recording. Okay, lip combo time. My favorite part, another favorite step rather. I'm first gonna go in with the Rimmel Long Lasting Finish Lip Liner. This is in the shade Brownie Pie. Beautiful stuff. Then I'm gonna go in with the new Fenty Beauty liner in the shade Traced Out. That's what it looks like. I actually really love the packaging of these liners. I just need to sharpen it. So with this liner, I like to go in as a second layer after this lip liner, because this one's creamier and kind of also can be a lipstick almost, because it's so creamy. See? It's like a lipstick. Super creamy, super pigmented. Then I'm gonna go in with my Rimmel Stay Matte Liquid Lip Color in the shade Love Bites. I'm not obsessed with this lippy, but it's cute. The one I'm obsessed with is just that I can't find it in store. I'm gonna order it online. The OGs know this is my go-to, it's just that it's run out. This is the L'Oreal Le Chocolats Ultra Matte Liquid Lipstick in the shade Velapto Choco 862. This one right here. This one, I'm obsessed. But this, for now, it's cute. Just trust the roses, guys. Just the roses. And then the star of the show that ties this whole look together is my Kylie Cosmetics Liquid Lipstick in the shade Candy K. My favorite. Love her down. Kylie 8 with the shade. Woo! And I kind of just put this all on the top of this combo. And this neutralizes everything. I'm going to clean up and blend out that situation. I don't know if I should I do a gloss because my shit is so dry. No. And then we're gonna go in again with the Quick Face Hydrating Mist. And we have reached the end of this makeup look. And that is the finished look. We finally reached the end. I don't even want to tell you how long it took me to film this. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you guys learned something insightful. You guys don't have to do exactly what I did, because what works for me may not work for you. What you like, I may not like. What I like, you may not like. You could be looking at me like, I don't like your face right now, and that's actually so fair. But I hope you at least learned something that you can apply to your makeup routine. As per usual, everything will be listed in the description box below. I had so much fun today. I really enjoyed doing sit down videos, so best believe I'm going to be doing more of them. On that note, we've come to the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and join the Gama gang. It is a vibe over here. And click the notification bell so you can get notified every time I post. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Love you, bye.